Casey, and this is the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be answering some more questions. Recently, I had allowed people to ask me kind of any Lego related questions on both YouTube and Instagram, and in my last video, I had only gotten around to answering the ones that had come in on YouTube. So these will be the questions I was asked on Instagram. And in all honesty, I haven't even gone through to see what they are yet. I just downloaded all of the questions and I'm going to kind of go through them sporadically because there were a lot of them. So I have definitely not prepped for these questions in any way. So we'll kind of see what they are and go from there. So let's get started. This first one is a good one. And this one comes from BFab. Is it true you're a fake Belleville fan and secretly like Friends more? Yes, that is very true. Secretly, I hate Belleville, and that's why I spent 21 years collecting the entire series. No, Belleville will always have my heart, and I don't dislike Friends, at least not as much as I used to. When the theme first came out, I was very opposed to it, did not like it at all, but I think the sets have gotten so much better in recent years, and there are a ton of them that I actually really like. So they've definitely grown on me. Next up we have King Carlos 3650. Why don't you have a Lego City? I do, it's right there. That's it. That's my Lego City. Snack bar, post office, pizza shop. There's a bank there in the back. It's just a small city, and that's because I don't have space to display a large city. People who have the ability to have an entire room dedicated to a Lego City are incredibly blessed and lucky, and so far that is not the case for me, but hopefully we're not too far off from that being at least a viable future goal. So here's hoping for 2025. The Flying Conductor asks, have you ever had the chance to build a Lego train set? Yes, I have one just off camera here. I'm gonna try and pan to it real quick. So my own train right down there, lit it up so you can see it a little better. We've also got an Ice Planet 2002 set and a couple of Spirius sets and some minifigures that actually I need to set up on my carousel here. I also have 4 variations of the Hogwarts Express. I think 4, it might be 5. I have all of them except for the Ultimate Collector Series one. So I have those trains, I have the Twisted Time train, and then I have the 2 Holiday Christmas trains. So the My Own train is the only one that's kind of like a regular train, I guess. I think my camera is still crooked. But yeah, I love trains. They're just really expensive to get. This person asked, when were your Lego Dark Ages? I've answered that one a bunch of times. I've never had one. I've had Lego every year, birthday, Christmas, just going to Walmart for fun since 1998. So no Dark Ages between 1998 and present. So what are we up to? Like 27 years, I guess? Munkin 17? Do you think Lego will release a bull/ox now that we have both a cow and a calf? I'd love that. I guess we'll just have to see if there's a set that kind of calls for it. Since we've had some medieval and castle-like ultimate collector style sets, I'd say there's probably a good chance, but I don't know. I'd love it though if they did. Shadow 6 Lego time lapse. Why don't you ship outside of the US? It's just not worth it. It's a lot of hassle and customs and things getting lost. Unfortunately, just not worth my time and energy. And I'm very grateful for people who are outside of the US who do ship outside of their countries to the United States. I'm just a small one-person business, so I don't have the time to figure out shipping for that kind of stuff and then dealing with the headache of those things going missing or people getting upset when they have to pay customs when it comes to their country. Just more of a headache than it's worth for me. I'm gonna keep scrolling through some of these because I've answered some of these before. Wonka Jr. 420. What's your oldest Lego set? Let me look this up. I don't know if I'll be able to get like an exact. I know it's in the 70s. I don't have anything before the 70s. So possibly the tipper truck. I actually bought a tipper truck to make a short or a TikTok or reel, whatever you want to call it. I had made one about Brixar just as a joke. I'll try to include it after this question has been answered so you can see it if you missed it when it came out probably over a year ago now. That one was released, I guess, under 2 different numbers in 2 different years, so either 1974 or 1976. So I think that would be the oldest one I have. Police Headquarters, set 585, also came out in 1976. So really the tipper or the police headquarters set would be my oldest set. I only have a handful of sets from the 70s. These guys up here, but those are a little bit later 70s. Again, the snack bar up there, that's also a 70s set. But the majority of my collection is from the 80s to current. You all really make it difficult with the what is your favorite minifigure, your favorite set, those are so hard. To pick one ever, I just can't do that. So if your question was a what is your favorite ever for this particular thing, usually something very broad. It's not like what's your favorite Aquazone set or something like that where it would be a little bit easier. I usually can't answer those because I would be lying because I just can't think of every minifigure that's ever existed and pick one and be sure that's the one that would be my favorite. Vince503 asks, what do you think of the Dark Falcon coming in August? I will be getting that one. I don't buy a lot of Star Wars, but I have been working on a Millennium Falcon collection. Actually, by the time this video comes out, the short might be out for that one, and I'm really excited about it. It's the first time I've liked a Millennium Falcon or Millennium Falcon style build since the early 2000s. Usually they don't impress me much. They all feel the same. Slight modifications, remaking the set over and over again. I understand they have to do because new people enter Lego every single day, so I definitely don't fault them for continually making remakes of that particular set, but I am really excited about the Dark Falcon. Looks like a great set with some fantastic minifigures. Mikey F91 is trying to get me into trouble. What's your controversial Lego opinion? I try to be as uncontroversial as possible so that I don't alienate anyone in the process. I feel like so many people have controversial opinions. I guess just about Lego, something that I don't think would like maybe offend other people in the community, but maybe more just offend Lego itself, the company, the Lego group. Is that I think they might be focusing a little bit too much for adults and not enough on kids. All the sets are super expensive, tons of pieces. I feel like sets nowadays are made to be built once and then kept that way, and that's just not possible for most people to have every set they've ever built and displayed or put somewhere. So when I was a kid, you know, a 400 piece set, yeah, it was a large set, but taking that apart and rebuilding it is not a day's amount of effort. Now, if you want a larger sized set, it's going to be 1,200 pieces. Taking that apart and rebuilding it is just not something you can do easily anymore, because we used to take sets out, build them, play with them for maybe a couple months, and then put them back away and build something else. And now I just feel like there's so much emphasis on the build and not enough on the play. I don't know, sometimes I don't even want to build stuff anymore because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to take that apart because I don't have enough space to display it. And they're so expensive too. I don't know, when I made the video about the little carousel, someone had commented on that video and said they wished that Lego would do like a bunch of different carnival rides in little individual sets. And I was like, that is such a brilliant idea. I wish Lego would do that too, where it was tiny sets that all went together that were affordable, because I could have bought a $25 set when I was a kid. It would have taken me a little time to save up for it, but it's not the same as now where everything is just one large set. So they would sell the entire carnival in one set and it's going to cost you $150, and that's just not feasible for most people. I guess my controversial Lego opinion would be that there should be more emphasis on smaller, affordable sets that could either be combined to make a larger set or would just be something fun for kids that's affordable. I mean, I always gravitate towards the $10 sets when they put them out, and I'm an adult, so I know kids would love that. Maybe that's not too controversial though. I don't know. There's got to be other people who agree with that. Build with TK asks, Lego has a lot of brick colors. Which is your favorite? That's also a tough one. As far as current colors go, I would say my favorite are the satin colors. Probably like the satin purple or light blue colors. Both of those are great, but really any of the satin colors I think are amazing. As far as retired colors go, I always liked earth orange, and it was pretty rare. They used it for the original hairpiece for Ron, as well as a broom, probably because I love those early 2000s Harry Potter sets so much. So I think earth orange would be my favorite, but there are so many amazing retired colors, it's hard to say. Nick's Castle Bricks. Are you going to build the Lion Knight's castle that I see sitting boxed behind you in your videos? Right there. No, I've had the Harry Potter one that's down there on that side since, what, 2018? It's still boxed. I just don't have space. They're way larger outside of the box than they are inside the box. And like I said before, can you imagine taking that back apart after you've put it together? So right now it's just not worth it to me to go through all of that because I wouldn't really have anywhere to put it once it's built. So those will be staying sealed for the foreseeable future. I would love to build them. It's just not in the cards right now. Ruffles M, do you track the value of your collection using something like Brick Economy? No, I think I've mentioned it before that I've tried to track my collection on Brickset, and I just gave up partway through. It's such a hassle to individually list every set that I have. I just have a spreadsheet that I keep a list so I know what I have. So it goes set number, name of the set, year it's released, theme, complete, and whether or not it has an instruction manual. And then I have another column that I can fill in as to which tub, which storage tote I've put it in, and that's been a work in progress for a couple of years now. We'll see if that ever gets finished. But I don't really care about the value because I never plan on reselling, so I didn't even know brick economy was a thing. That's how little I care about the value, so. Some of these questions you all ask, like I have an in with Lego and I know what they're thinking. I'm not even in LAN. I have no idea what's going on. But some of these questions are like, do you think we'll get this theme back? Do you think they'll make this theme? And I'm just like, I wish I knew. I have no idea. This is a question I get asked a lot, and this comes from Typey11. Where do you get all of your retro sets from? People will ask that quite a lot on Instagram in particular. A lot of the ones people ask about I've had since they originally came out. When they're super old, it's usually a bulk lot, and I have the same access to all of the different selling websites that exist that you do. So it's just a Google search. Usually you have to be pretty vigilant if you're looking for something specific and checking daily for those sets. So there are certain searches that I put out that I check every single day on numerous websites. So that's all I can tell you. Just Google it. I don't buy a ton of stuff anymore. I really usually just wait to find stuff in bulk lots unless I need something specific or it's like a holiday and someone has given me money for something. But other than that, I almost never buy sets outright, and I just try and find stuff in bulk lots as I can, and it's just all the usual places. Adam Carey 77 asks, what was the very first set you bought yourself? If I remember correctly, at least in my mind, the very first set I remember asking my mom to take me to Walmart to buy was set 3050 Shanghai Surprise from 1999. Now, I had gotten a few sets before then, but that's the first one I remember buying for myself, and I used my own money and I asked my mom to take me to Walmart so that I could purchase it. Is it possible there was one before that? Maybe, but that's the first one I think I bought for myself. And I bought it because it came with chrome gold coins, jewels, and it had that kind of like horn piece that was chrome gold as well. Loved it. Still have it to this day and would still highly recommend that set. It was a great set. I played with it so much. The Nerd Abides asked, do you collect customs at all? And I don't. I don't know why I'm like so traditional, and if it's not something that's actually manufactured by Lego, printed by Lego, I just really don't have any interest in it. It probably is a good thing though, because it'll save me money, because I have seen what some of that stuff goes for. It's very cool. I just don't currently have an interest in it. Prince for Pippa asks, what's your worst Lego related fear? Yellowing, cracks, FOMO, etc. And how do you try to control it? I would say probably cracks, because even with yellowing, there's usually some extent of damage repair you can do with that. Once it's cracked, it's over. I am very, very lucky and blessed that I don't really have too much FOMO. If there's a set I really want and I like can't afford it at the time, sometimes I will have my parents buy it and then I will pay them back for it later. That's been on like a very rare occasion. I did that with the castle because I wasn't sure how long it was going to be out for. Had I known it was going to be out forever, I wouldn't have done that. There's just been a couple of sets that I've done that with over the years. Actually, I probably did that with the Harry Potter castle as well, the Hogwarts castle. But usually if it's something I want, I generally get it. I've gotten so particular about current stuff, what I'm actually interested in getting now. So it's very rare that I feel like I've missed out on anything. But yeah, Lego cracks in the pieces, particularly minifigure torsos. Those are brutal. I have lost so many great torsos to cracks, which is so funny that I didn't even know that was a thing that happened until I was an adult, because none of my Lego minifigures cracked when I was a child, and I don't know if that's a quality thing or I was just pretty gentle with the minifigures. I was not taking them apart a lot. I didn't even know the arms came out until adulthood either. I didn't know people were switching out the hands and the arms on minifigures until I was an adult. So yeah, I think cracks would probably be my biggest fear. Every time I rebuild vintage sets, I usually find at least one piece that's more damaged than I realized or become damaged due to time. So nothing in life is forever, and that's what you have to remember. Everything will eventually degrade, so enjoy it while you have it. All right, last question from Edberg. Maybe? EDBRG. Was LEGO better without licensed themes? Licensed themes have been around for the majority of my LEGO life. Star Wars started in 99 and I got into LEGO in 98, so I don't really have much memory of pre-licensed theme time in LEGO. I would say the majority of my favorite sets are before licensed themes. I really liked the early years of Star Wars and Harry Potter, when the minifigures were still yellow. So I think the downfall for me was when they started aiming for realism and less for creativity and imagination. Maybe that's my controversial opinion. I just think the yellow minifigure is what makes it LEGO. And I know they had other colorful minifigures, like insectoids or UFO. They had the different translucent and colorful heads, but they weren't aiming to look realistic. And that's really what I miss, is the pre-color change era and pre-realism era. You know, they originally made the castle yellow because they wanted to prove that you could just be creative and things didn't have to look real like real life. So I do think they strayed away from that narrative and that mission, and I think it would be great if they went back in that direction. Not that I think that'll ever happen. So for me personally, I prefer the pre-licensed theme era for that reason. If they had stuck with the way the licensed themes were in the beginning, with still having yellow minifigures, maybe I would be more on board with the licensed themes, but I don't know. I'm too wishy-washy for hard-formed opinions. Alright, so that's all the questions I'm going to answer. If you asked another one through Instagram, I've probably already answered it before, and that's why I didn't re-answer it. But thank you to everyone who submitted questions. I always appreciate the variety of questions you all send, especially the more creative the better, because it actually makes me think. So thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and if you're interested in extra videos and content, check out the membership program starting at only 99 cents a month. There are already over 55 episodes available. See you all next time.